Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. I lost track of time. It felt like I don't know, it feels like it's 4:40. I don't know where all the time has went, but man, oh man. Red Day recap. Red Day recap, we're down 700, down 400 on SONN, red 164 EPIX, red at 129 UBX, and flat on ARAV. Let's get into it. I'm gonna try and do this one quick. Most of the trading did happen on stream. Not much really happened off stream except EPIX. Let's start off with SONN, right? For those of you who did not see the live stream, essentially what happened was that I tried to buy low, and every time I bought low, the stock went lower. Just one of those things where I just couldn't time it, I couldn't read it, and in the one area where I got good trades and felt comfortable with it, it just wasn't, aligning with me. And so for those reasons, I took losses. But ultimately, I thought I traded it well. To really deep dive into some of the trades. I did take a loss very early on with 7,500 shares, which I believe was on this candle. So I attempted scalps as I was trying to push up here. This first trade of the day was a great trade. I just didn't hold it long enough. At this time, at 9:38, we had a sell-off on UBX. Look at 9:38 right here. Actually, no, what am I looking at? 30, I don't know. Well, yeah, it did break down. I don't know, I felt like this was more dramatic when I saw it. Anyhow, it did break down, and I thought the weakness was going to, maybe seep over. And so I sold my position on SONN, as I saw that one dropping, which is, of course, something very silly to do. When you look back at it. But that happened. I sold that position for no reason other than the other stock was going lower, and I thought maybe it would have affected and weighed on the momentum. Not unless the stock is trading in tandem, that's not something that's good to do, right? Sympathy momentum is not good to do. So that was a poor sell. I missed on the move to 215 because my idea here was to hold this trade for high of day. 2,500 shares, sold it too soon. Or it might have been even 3,500, I think. Let's see, monitor statements. I think it might have been 3,500. Let's see. 370. Where are we? SONN. 308, 311. Yeah, this was the one. Okay, so it was just 2,500. Sold it too soon, got out. Right, I'll speed it up a little bit too. Got out too soon, and I waited for this pullback. You see this bottoming wick here, low of 06. I got long at 13, 12, and 11. My stop was at 08. I got some higher fills than I would have wanted. But let's see. 14. So it wasn't really 13. It was more so 14. So this is kind of a high fill. 12 and 10. So these two are better fills. I'm comfortable with these two. This one could have been lower. Maybe I could have waited a little bit more patiently. But my stop was 8. My average was 12. And it, from being at 10, 11, it just dropped to 6. Sold where? At the bottom, 7. Let's see. Selling at 07, 07, 07, 07. At this point, I thought it was failing, because I just didn't expect it to pull all the way back to VWAP. Now, when I came back and I reviewed this trade, I got in too high, and here's why. When you look at my risk to reward ratio, let's get rid of this trend line at 18. High of day is at 19, right? High of day is at 19, right? I'm buying the stock at 14. 14 from 19 is no difference. It's like, 4 cents, 5 cents. I'm buying the dip way too high, way too high. I should have never touched it unless it hit 11, 10, 9. and have my stop below VWAP. When I look back at this, it's so obvious. I can't understand why in the world I bought it so high. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. It should have been avoided. This should have been a winning trade. This should have started, this should have started me off up 1K, because if I'm in this, let's say I was patient, right? And I recognize, okay, I need to buy it, let's say, below 10. The way how it played out, it flushed to 6 and 7. If I'm long 7,500 at 7, instead of selling at 7, look at the bottoming wick, and then look at the high, 17. 13 cents, 7,500 shares. Let's say I'm making 8 to 10 cents. Well, not quite 1K, 700 to start the day. So this is how the difference in the day goes, right? The slight difference between being green and being red. One trade I sold because another stock was selling off, mistake, and technical mistake here. If I'm a little bit better on those two trades, if these two are winning trades and they play out how they should have played out, I'm up 1K at this time in the day, and look at how early it is, and look at how much more the stock is gonna go. it infuriates me that I allowed this to happen. It infuriates me. It's a knife going through my chest, a knife going through my brain, because I also don't know what I was thinking. But this day trading for us, it drives us crazy, and it's why we love it, because ultimately it challenges us, and it holds us accountable to the highest degree. There is no hiding here. There is no he say, she say. It's just me and the market and I, right? And so whether I come in here and I trade well, or I come in and I did nonsense, it's on me, unless the power goes out or something like that. But yeah, so looking back at this, I don't even know how I let that happen. But anyhow, okay. I'm waiting here, watching. I didn't scalp this move up because I felt like the range was a little limited. Now, it didn't move well here. Over 23, it pushed up nicely, and I could have been more aggressive right here. From 23 to 29, I missed out on that, then got all the way to 35. I did try to buy the lows. Let's see. So we had a low of 26. Well, it doesn't even look like I got in on the lows on this. I don't even know what happened there. I thought, okay, I think I remember. I thought it might have pulled back a little bit more, but it held fairly well. It continued pushing. I attempted scalps here. Bought this dip around 40. It had a high of 53. I bought 43. It went lower. I stopped out. It curled back up. Man, let me see something. I mean, this is just so disappointing. It's even more disappointing looking back at this stuff. Sometimes these recaps are hard to do. I mean, it's so clean. Oh, man. 9:56. This is where I gotta start bringing out that voice that sounds like, Ross Cameron. Bummer. Easy come, easy go. What are you gonna do? Be better. That's what I'm gonna do. Be better. Man. Time 54. I'm in for a scalp. It rips to 50 whatever. I bought 45 trying to sell a pop. It doesn't go. I bought 41. I sold 42. I bought 38, out 38, in 38, out 38, in 38. Okay, this is a great trade. Small size. I think at this point I was already down like 400 because of the losing trades earlier. And I didn't want to take size on this trade because if I had size again like I did earlier and I took a similar loss, it would have put me down like 1,200, which I felt was a little too much to be down. So this brought me back to like being down 200 on the day from like down 450, 500. So this was a great trade. And you can see I'm uncertain. Like, I guess I have to show the charting for those of you who aren't there today. But, for me, looking at the orders, I can tell the story of what's happening. I'm uncertain right here in case it flushes, so I'm not really holding it. And then I finally got in and I held. And so I'm in for a couple of seconds. and we get a good, you know, not quite 10 cents because we sold the bulk at 45. 1 second later, so this is more than likely a bulk market, and they only filled some of the shares at 47 for the out. I think I might have thrown some orders on the ask as well. I don't know. Yeah, so that was right here. We had a low of, let's double check that timestamp, 58. We had lows of 56, well, rather 36, 36, 36. I got long at 38. So ultimately, this was a good trade. I caught this pullback, and I think this is the only one that I caught. This one right here. So, you know, in like days like yesterday and the day before, like, you know, we're up like 2K on these stocks. I started the day by not messing up these trades like this. This should be good trading. In green, you know, from 9 to 13, 5 cents, you know, we're up 125. Then if we're buying this dip lower and we're in at 7, we're out at 14, 15, 16, you know, let's say we add another 600. You know, it's like yeah, I'm not estimating towards the very highs. You know, let's just say, okay, I'm between the two trades, I'm up 650, 700, even lower, right? Lower estimates. If I'm to scalp this area here, you know, I think being red, I'm too passive here. I don't take this 1 minute candle to make the new high, so I miss out on another 4 cents. This is another $100. I'm not aggressive enough to take this dip. I miss out on another 120, because, you know, with the 2,500 shares, 1 penny is $25. 4 cents is $100. 5 cents, $120. So imagine if I'm buying this 3K shares or 5K shares, you know, even 2,500 shares, and we're just going in at 27, coming out at 30. You know, $75 at least. So even if we want to average this low, you know, maybe I go from up 650 here to another 50 to 7, and then maybe we add another 50 here to 750. And then if we connect on this like we did, we push to 900. And the day is looking pretty solid. Instead, I'm chicken. And just to mess up trades like this, it just doesn't even make sense. But anyhow, it happened. Too aggressive, too soon, too sloppy. We got to tighten up tomorrow. If I trade like this tomorrow, I'll definitely be red. So I'll have to tighten up. It dips down to VWAP here at 37. I didn't trust it to hold long. So I got in and out over and over and scalped the move. I think I did see some money here, if I'm not mistaken. We can check. 10.13. I was afraid to hold it there because I'm like, man, we're testing the lows again. I don't quite, you know, in at 37 out of 38, in at 37 out of 42, in at 42, scratch trade, in at 42 out of 44, 1 cent loss, 2 cent gain, 1 cent gain, flat trade, flat, 1 cent gain. So we you could say we made money on that move up, and now we jump forward to 10.20, 10.19, which is over here as it starts to pull away. And at this point, I'm green over here. Then I get back something somewhere here, on this, on I think maybe here. I don't even know. But I remember losing on one trade somewhere in the mist, and in this area, it just became frustrating because I can see what's happening in front of me. I know how much I botched the trades. There is something that I've been working on for a while, which is, hey, stay focused on what's to come. Don't worry about what happened and what you could have done. But at this point, I lost it. I got frustrated because the stock, I thought short sellers were going to cover over 60. I forgot to map out this blue line, which is high of day. Shout out to LMD, who let me know I can put in this indicator here to show me the high, the previous high and the previous low of day price always on the charting. So that'll help me out now and save me some analysis. I forgot 270 was actually a level, and you know, previous high of day was at 260, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. What was previous high of day? 50? Where am I getting this 260 level? I can't even remember. Was it from 250, 270. I don't know where I got 260 from, and maybe that was what I confused myself with. I thought over 260 the shorts was gonna work. We're going to cover their position, but they were waiting for yesterday's high at 270, and so when we came here, it went from 60, gradual 65, and then once it got close to 70, 75, 78, 80, 85, 90, all in like a couple seconds. I tried buying 75 here, got a little higher, filled 80. It didn't bounce. It just kept going down, and then that was basically it. It dropped down to a low of 63 before bouncing. Usually when these stocks are parabolic in this area, the first dip holds really well, and we continue in a parabolic state. This is parabolic, this right here. But, if we look at the 5-minute candle, you'll see how big it was. The issue was that it didn't continue. If the halt level pushes higher and this holds 75.80, this candle here retests the highs. We can still get a very good day if we just start to excel and get exaggerated. Maybe it pulls back here, and then this is how you get a stock that goes to like 6, and then another quick pullback here, and then it takes off to 10, halt up again. Sharks are really underwater. Those who didn't cover will feel the hard way. But yeah, so I kind of got just got frustrated. I think I was a little too passive on my scalps. Usually I want to start the day scalping, but this stock kind of didn't present that opportunity because it wasn't really the leading gapper. EPIX, UBX was our leading gapper. This one sold off. This stock I tried to buy the double bottom here at 58. I did with 500 shares initially, in at 60, out at 62. $10 gain, baby size though, because I was afraid of this giving me a third loss. Those of you who are keeping up with the recap, you guys know that I took losses on that entry earlier in the week, right? So anyhows, I took it small. It came back down. I felt a little bit more confident in 15. Nice gain there, $45. So now I'm up 55 between these two trades. I'm like, okay, time to go to big size. I jumped to 3K shares immediately. It starts to take off, and I thought the 1-minute candle to make the new high over 70 for high of day was going to be a beast. At this point in time, I did not think SONN was going to be in play. I said yes. This thing held the bottom here. It held VWAP. I mean, you go back like this. Look at how. If I can get this to a line. Yeah, look at how this looks. This looks like this green candle here is going to give a big body candle and rip to the moon like this. So I bought 73,000 shares. Nothing happened. I took a 2-cent loss. It pulls back to 71. I thought it was quickly coming down to touch VWAP here and then rip to 80. I bought 6,000 shares. Trading is risky, ladies and gentlemen. If I was 1 second slow to sell, I'd have lost 700 right here. The risk is real. The risk is real, guys. The risk is real. So that happened. And this one was done. And that's when I switched over to SONN and kind of saw it where I saw it around 940. This one was done around 30, 33. So we waited a little bit. The way how my charting on the other monitor is zoomed in, when this drop off happened around 38 right here, my charting up top is skewed because it's smaller. It looked like this. Like if I zoom in, like it looked terrible the way how I saw it, and it wasn't the case. And so going back to SONN, that's once again why I sold that position early to begin the day. So. That doesn't excuse though the poor performance. EPIX was a disaster. When it rains, it pours, because this stock, I should have either been slightly green or flat. I'm down 160. It shouldn't have happened. It gave this big move. I'm like, okay, it's getting called out in the Discord. It pulls back here. I tried to buy the dip at 16. It goes lower to a low of 12. Didn't buy 12. Wasn't comfortable with 12. Instead, actually, no. I did buy 12, but I'm in at 15. I put a low of day was 16. I put out an order on the ladder here at 15, but only 500 shares, 1 day below the low of day, and I think my stop might have been 10. So it came down to a low of 12. I'm risking 5 cents. It bounces here to a high of 20. I'm not looking to sell because high of day is at 34. Minimum, I'm looking for 25 on this trade. It pulls back. You see this bottoming wick? It pulls back to a low of 13. So I thought it was about to fail. And, you know, some of the guys in the Discord are like, RT, you might have gotten stopped out there. Yes, I did. Because, you know, I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is coming back down. You know, hitting 20 with a bottoming wick here. I felt like, you know, we should have held better and kept curling. But, you know, all these stocks, they have a mind of their own. It comes to 13, stops me out, then it goes. We had big sellers up at 23 and 25, I believe. And it was having a hard time right there. I tried to go short. Instead, I tried to go short at 23, and in the moment of me shorting, it flushes to 17. I got the fill at 17. I was looking for a quick short in at 23, out at 17. So being that I had the low fill, the best decision was to cut the trade immediately, because that's what I usually would do if I'm scalping a stock. If I'm in high and it's going down, I cut the trade. But I eventually said, okay, this trade, resistance is at 23, it's struggling, but remind you, it just held this dip, which means it's bullish. But yes, okay, we do have big sellers at 23, so I told myself, okay, stop at 23. I stop out at 23, it comes down to 16, which would have given me a break even out, and then it rips. So, you know, oh, what a sad day. You know, I don't even know why days like this happen. It's like you'd like to think that you've been trading for 4 years, you've been in a good groove throughout the last 7 days. We made a lot of money in the last 7 days. Why is it that today we didn't trade well? I don't know. I don't know why I didn't trade well today. I mean, I gave it a good effort, I felt like, but after looking back at this stuff, I mean, oh my gosh. The word embarrassing does not exist in trading because trading is hard. But it's like I kind of feel like, you know, like crap. The recap is sometimes the hardest part of the day for me because I really get to see everything, and you know, man, it's like tomorrow we'll be back. I feel confident about tomorrow, but we got to be on our A game. We cannot afford to let what happened to us today happen to us tomorrow. And quickly review for the yoga ball. In terms of pressure on the legs, I think it feels good, a little bit better than the chair, but I feel like it moves around a little too much. I find myself like going side to side, like, you know, and then it rolls a little bit, and you know, I gotta keep my hands on the buy button, keep an eye on the level too. Sometimes I'm too close and I want to adjust, and it's like it's kind of hard to do that because I gotta get up and like pull the ball in place. I think what I'll do, I think I'll use it for the back half of my trading session when I'm done. I think I'll use the chair for the front half, and then I'll use the ball for the back half. I think this gives better circulation to the legs though. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for the recap. Hope you did enjoy. Don't worry, Relentless Trader will be back. The monthly recap, I should have recorded it today. We'll try and have that out for tomorrow, so you guys can get a nice look into that. But guys, it's been RT. We're down 700. Did we look at it? We're down $700.62. If things have worked out and we connected on the trades like we could have been able to, let's say maybe even should have, I think green day of anywhere of like 950 to like 2K, you know. It's annoying to know that much money slipped through the fingers, and on top of that, instead of being flat, maybe just down $100 and down 7. Unbelievable. I'll catch you guys next time. Stay safe, stay green. It's been Relentless Trader. I'm signing out, guys.